Hey guys, what's up? Liru the Lance Corporal here. I am currently working on our new set of bases for tonight's op. Just working on making some custom variations of some of the well-known things already in Ares and Achilles, just to, give the players some bit of a run for their money. But anyway, some announcements. VG is still not looking for new recruits at this time. I will let you guys know when that changes by YouTube video and whatchamacallit. Sorry, just they're still taking a break. But again, I will let you guys know ASAP when recruiting becomes available again. So, without further ado, we will have the TeamSpeak IP and password ready to go in the description of the video, but for now let's get to some announcements, and I also want to talk about what tonight's op is going to be about. So again, TeamSpeak IP and password in the description, and if it's not there anymore, that means I removed it because we already filled up 60 slots. It goes by quicker than you can think, and honestly, if you haven't already, get into that. Get into that TeamSpeak server if you want a slot and if you want to play. Literally, pause the video, do what you need to do. I'm not going anywhere. I've got bases to set up, so this looks good. Gonna make a few copies and put it around. Awesome. So tonight's op will be a little bit different. We're gonna have a nice little slice of PvP action here. And it's not going to be dedicated PvP like what you think. This is going to be a little more NATO versus CSAT, but CSAT are only going to have a few players, and they're going to be in charge of defending a massive amount of area, while NATO will be pushing up from the south, and their end goal will be to take this base, airbase specifically. So there's going to be a bit of a build-up to NATO. They're going to have to focus on really capturing assets, holding positions, and doing what they can to avoid CSAT's wrath. Now, CSAT's only going to have, I think, 6 player slots, just enough for a recon team elements, as well as me. I spawn as CSAT just so I can do CSAT airstrikes and everything, help keep things moving. Okay, cool. Right now, I'm balancing one of the objectives right now. I've already done the first objective, and I'll show that off. But it's going to be like a 6 versus 52, 53 style scenario. So NATO, its first objective will be taking out this power plant. We've already set a few things up. This is going to be a very light objective. I'm not going to show off where NATO is going to be assaulting from yet, but CSAT will be able to spawn here and move in. Respawn is set to 20 seconds, so, balanced where we can, but the whole goal is there'll be a main objective. CSAT will have a secondary base they can spawn from to get near it, or they can spawn at their base and bring assets in, and as NATO pushes more and more, taking more and more bases to get to this final objective, CSAT will have access to deadlier and deadlier things, but so will NATO. So we'll see some very interesting PvP bursts of action while there's plenty of PvE elements to go around and to let players continue. So again, something brand new. I've seen a lot of people asking for a dynamic type of op where, units kind of build up and push on. So I think also adding a nice little PvP style to it with just a few players would also be a good idea, because that's one of the other things a lot of people have been asking for. So we'll see how it goes. If it works really well, I'll keep making these. Otherwise, we'll go back to standard missions, because there's also, a bunch of people sending me suggestions left, right, and center. So I'd like to thank everyone who's given me these ideas, and I hope you enjoy it. But overall, I think our first objective, it's going to be here. The second will be here, and as you can tell, it's an airfield. So if NATO takes it, they'll get some air assets, and then they'll just slowly push through these territories. I'm thinking the third one will be in this base area, because it's a very good-looking spot. I mean, I did a assault on here once. Very nice, very well defendable. You can put military assets in here. Here, you already got this barracks, this construction site. A lot of great places to put statics and everything. And then, just the 2 military bases between Laka and the factory. A really good final spot, 2 small military bases, this factory, which you can turn into another military base, and then the final assault on this airbase. So we'll see how far NATO can get in, the 4-hour time limit. But if it's still going really well and people want to continue, we can definitely push on after. And this will also be like the final CSAT spawn base, which honestly, Telos makes it fit so well. So we'll see how everything goes. It'll be a very dynamic mission, but I'm hoping that all the players kind of watch this to get a sense for what it is. I'm not showing off where the exact spawn CSAT bases are, except for this one, because, just to give an example. But I can assure you this will be generally balanced as best as I can do it. It's going to really determine in the end, how good the NATO players are, how good their communication is, how good CSAT's communication is with the smaller elements, and how effective they can be in setting up in a specific position. Because, I mean, this AO, for example, not showing off where NATO comes from, but honestly, CSAT could set up here, they could set up on this little FOB tower, they could set up in this tree line. They're a recon squad by default, and yes, full arsenals will be given. Gonna make sure players don't abuse them too much, but the player role category is in play, so if I see everyone running around with like DMRs and shit, someone's gonna get smited. But there are so many areas where the players can definitely throw each other off, and I'm going to be very curious to see how this all plays out. So, other announcements. Let's go back and work on some of these fire bases here. I love the design, the 3 towers, 2 bunkers. Works really well. Let's change that to a CSAT flag. But as I do that, I hope you all are doing okay. Some changes. We're moving Wednesday exotic ops to Halo ops. It's just Wednesday exotics take so long to set up, and I just don't have the time for it anymore. But Halo, it takes a little bit less time, and it's also, a bit of a clickbaity topic, and also really fun to do when the player base doesn't blow up hangars and then tries to land in them and blow themselves up. That was fucking hilarious. Let's set up some CSAT flags around, make everything cool. But other than that, we've moved Iron Front Day and the modded days. So now Iron Front's on Mondays, modded days are on Saturdays. We're going to start enforcing a modded player list. So Tier 2, it's not going to be, anyone can really join anymore. It's going to be, people that have trained and people that are doing really well. And from there, hopefully we'll see a better player base. God, I hope it's going to be a better player base. Putting some CSAT flags in here. But other than that, I haven't published this yet. It's still in queue. It'll be published later today on Friday. I did I don't really know what to call it. I guess a collab with a borderline milsim group, a really tactical group that would honestly define where I want my Tier 2, Tier 3, and even Tier 4 players to kind of end up. And I liked it so much that I told them we'll try to do this every other week on a weekday. I'm sorry, a weekend day, so a Saturday or Sunday. So expect more of that. We did some really nice story-like element missions, and we will continue that because we couldn't finish it, and I'll make it even bigger and make it more fun. But how that'll be done is very simple. It'll be on a bi-weekly basis, and it'll either replace my Vietnam mission on Sunday or my Tier 2 stuff on Saturday. And the whole premise for that is if Tier 2 fucks up that week, they don't get an op next week. They get, instead, more training. Because both Tier 2 and Vietnam past few weeks have been pretty atrocious. I mean, Vietnam recently, I had to step in and finish my own goddamn op. And Tier 2 has just been laughable at best. I mean, stepping on landmines and shit. I mean, good God. But hey, I think that'll be some good enforcement for them to at least train, at least get their shit together. And hey, we will see what happens. Let's work on making this a base as I speak. But other than that, yep, that'll be like a little bit of a punishment, and I can still, do stuff, and maybe we'll see some cool things with Manticore. Maybe we'll boost their numbers. I'll talk with their leader and we'll see where we want to take that. But really fun to do that powwow collab with them, and just great. So again, when VG opens up recruitment, I will let you guys know. But other than that, trying to stick to 2 videos a day, except for yesterday. That Halo was supposed to be like 2 to 3 different ops. And I tried, even after that blunder, I tried giving them the second op, and it just, when you watch the player base fail that hard, you just gotta throw in the towel as a Zeus, because your mood just changes, and you're like, I can't recover from that. Like, there is no way they can recover from that. And that mission file, I had Grizzly cook it up for me. He forgot to put respawns. So it turned into a one life scenario, and everyone was disorganized because of a new mod set. So I think you can figure out how well that went. I'm actually gonna bring over this base over here and just copy that, because that's a really nice base. It's got 3 towers, 2 bunkers. Everything fits. But anyway, I will get out of your guys' hair. I've said everything I need to say. If you got a question, by all means, shoot me in the comment section. Shoot it in the comment section. Don't shoot, well, if in your... I'm going to shut up now. Anyway, I'm just multitasking like crazy. But thank you guys so much for watching, and operate operationally. Take care, guys.